Nation, what's going on? It's your boy Buckets, and today we're talking to SFA Bowling. I'm going to talk to Coach Amber Lemke here in just a little bit, but first, I'm going to try my hand at this bowling thing. Let's see if we can get a strike. Come on. I mean, come on, ladies.
We got more pins than we were throwing it.
Jack Nation, it's your boy Buckets. I'm here with Coach Amber Lemke of SFA Bowling. Coach, I'm going to be honest with you. Outside of like drinking beer and eating corn dogs, I know nothing about bowling. It's been really awesome getting to know you and your team and kind of figuring some of this out. Let's start number one. Last season, you guys played for 2 national championships. You won one of them, runner-up in the NCAAs. What is there pressure, and what does that feel like as you guys get into this year and push into the spring, trying to repeat that success?
I think that we've done a really good job of just making sure that they understand that, you know, every year is different. Everything that you do every year, we try and separate it. The cool part is that we have everyone back, so they know what that feeling was like to get to that stage and be successful, and then, you know, I don't want to say not be successful because finishing second is pretty awesome, but know what it feels to lose. So I think that, you know, we kind of ended last season knowing like we want to do this again. But every year it takes something different. Every year the teams get better, the players get better, you know, there's a little bit of change on the team. And I think that we've done a really good job of trying to encompass that. So we're not worried about what we did before and what we need to do now, just worrying about what we can control and what we can do in the moment.
So you mentioned having everybody back. You've got 4 players right now, I believe, that are in the top 50 of essentially what is your guys' player composite rankings. You've got a player who was I believe the U.S. Amateur champion last year. She was also on Team USA. Like, you've got a star-studded group here, and you guys are ranked 5th in the country. So everywhere you guys show up, you've got a target on you. What does that feel like walking in and knowing that everybody's gunning for SFA?
We talk a lot about that because it's a lot of outside pressure that we don't necessarily see as pressure, but other teams see us and maybe, you know, we don't perform the best, and it's like, oh, what's going on? Sometimes it just happens. I think when you have a target on your back and you're trying to figure out like how to work through that, every team is coming for you every weekend, just like we're going after the other teams that we know are just as good as us too. And so just trying to control what we can control and to be as good as we can be in those moments to set ourselves up to do the most successful thing. And with having all of the player experience, you know, Team USA and having the experience on TV that we had last year, I think has really pushed them to be better for each other as the year's gone on.
Coach, you told me off camera that you guys are coming off of what you think might be your best fall to date, really. How do you think that helps springboard you guys into the spring and into the schedule that you guys have coming up?
So yeah, the fall this year was considerably better than it's ever been. And I think a lot of that just had to come back. We had people coming back that were here before, a couple new faces, but we were able to we weren't treading water. We were ready to go. And I think in the spring for us, it's more of like go time. You know, we set ourselves up for March and April. That's our goal every year, is to be ready for postseason, be ready, you know, what does that look like? We play the same teams all year. I typically have a lighter schedule in the fall, and we go guns a-blazing in the spring. And so all of our events, you know, we bowl in the best events of the nation every single year, and the spring holds a lot of those events. So being able to compete against the top teams repeatedly every weekend is going to set us up for success in the post-spring and for postseason. And I think that's what we look forward to the most, is kind of seeing where are we at, how do we measure up, what do we need to do to make sure that we're ready.
So the last thing, now this is on a personal note, I'm a student athlete here at SFA as well. I took a look at your guys' schedule and kind of where you guys are traveling. I'm super jealous of the travel schedule that you guys have. Man, Vegas and New York and Chicago, all the places that you guys go to. What's that like? What do you think that experience is like for these ladies getting to travel the country and see all that stuff?
It's one of our things that we kind of encompass the most here, is we want them to have a great student-athlete experience, and that involves the travel that we do. I think what people don't see is that type of travel takes them out of the classroom a whole bunch. And so we stress academics and what they need to do in the classroom, because we're not going to take them away from it unless they're good at, you know, they can manage that. But being able to travel and do all these things, we like to afford them opportunities that they might not get if they weren't doing this with us. And so I do think it helps the team camaraderie. The team dynamic is a lot stronger because we are traveling together so much and so far away. Being so far away from an airport in Nacogdoches, we can't help that. So our travel days are insanely long. But we make the most of it by being able to give them experiences in these awesome places that we get to visit. And it is very different than what a lot of student athletes get to do at SFA.
Well, Coach, we're really looking forward to the rest of the season. Good luck to you guys. Hopefully we see you guys fighting for another NCAA championship this year. Jack Nation, you guys stick with us. We'll be back later for another Axum Insider.